All right, things were done well in your video. Because of what I would like to do next in terms of technique, I want to wait until we meet up on Skype again so we can work things up as we usually do. So, what we're going to do this time, something I wanted to do once you got those individual scales or the modes memorized in all the different positions and the different octaves. We're basically taking all that mode stuff and playing them in the same progression or like a progression over and over. So starting with basically I would say the most popular chord progression there is your 1 4 5. So we're just going up from the 1 to the 4 to the 5 and then back to the 4. So that's basically the blues progression is a 1 4 5 or some kind of variation of that. And then, so that's going to be number one. Number two is like the minor version of that. So the 6 2 3 2. Now, if you look at this, and this is one thing I want you to, one thing I want you to get from this is how we go from the 1 to the 4 to the 5. So starting on the E string, when we go to the go from the 1 to the 4, you see it's the same fret. We're just going up one string. So going from the 1 to the 4, it's just a same fret, just going between the two strings. And then the 5, just a whole step up from the 4. Now, looking at the minor equivalent of this, when I say minor, I'm talking about the minor chords or the minor chord positions in the major scale. So 6, 2, 3. So just like the 1 to the 4, going from 6 to the 2 is same fret, just a string up. So we're going to do that in various places, various octaves. Eventually, we end up having to go the other route, or go a different route, I should say. So when we get to this here, so because we're using 3 strings, we can't just go up to the next string for the 4. If we did, we'd end up on the 6th fret of the B string. However, because we are using 3 strings, what we do is go down down a string and down 2 frets. So but the other thing you can see here is when you go down a string and you're on the same fret, you're actually going down to the 5. So there's your 1, there's your 5. So think of it this way. Quick thing to remember, and this is you can't have it for every single string because of either a lack of strings or because of the G to B string tuning. But for the most part, if you're going to go up to the 4, you just move up one string. If you want to go down to the 5, you go down one string. The other thing is, power chords, 5th chords. Just seeing that, knowing that as a 5th chord, there's the 1, there's the 5, 1 to 5. So just what I want you to do, again, is just see how these patterns are laid out. If you can recognize this stuff, and you'll see it in music that you listen to, music that you want to learn, even write, and you can basically have a much faster, easier time understanding what's happening. Because chord progressions, they've been done to death, for sure. You're going to see the same types of chord progressions over and over. Now, we are using modes. It's still using the chord progression idea, but also just teaching you the fretboard in another way. So, kind of like scale plus chord combination of things. Because you can look at things in terms of doing chords, you can do it as scales. It all ties in together. So I have a bass line and drum track for both of these. I have it set at 120. Use whatever tempo you're comfortable with. Goal is to be able to play through the entire thing. And certainly watch the guitar profile if you need to. Yeah, slow it down if you need to. You can speed it up if you'd like. So let's see how well this goes. Having not practiced it, let's try it at 120. If I end up making too many mistakes, I'll just slow it down. But let's get a volume check here real quick. That's where I need to put this back up. Hang on, is the other one the same way? It is now, okay. All right, from the top, here we go. Actually, let me change some here real quick. All right, one more time from the top. Thinking Dorian for some reason. Alright, well there's the first big mistake. Alright, well, that's enough mistakes. Let's slow this down to 100. Alright, there we go. I'll change the other one to 100 as well. Alright, save that, and here we go. yeah, just do your best to be able to make it through both of those. Minimizing mistakes as much as possible. Eventually, 0 mistakes. Stick with one section at a time until it feels comfortable. So you're going to just highlight what you're working on, and yeah, so highlight the part you're working on and then turn on the loop, so this way it just goes over and over and over again. And just stick with whatever section you need to until it is feeling all right. Okay, that about covers it. So any questions, let me know, and I will see you again next week.